Vaisesika Prabhu is now here, so.
Vansha kalpatarusha kripasindhabevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, what a pleasure
Hare
to be
Krishna.
here again. Thank you very much, everyone, for gathering. We get to enact the greatest of services together. It's as if we're entering the battlefield again and again, and we get so much experience from it, don't we? Well, first I offer my respectful obeisances to our founder Acharya, who's leading us into battle again and again with his indomitable spirit. And I pray that that Krishna may give us intelligence how to execute the Sankirtan movement in ways that will be pleasing to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and all the previous acharyas. And may everybody who joins this call and the team in general be benedicted by their grace. Om Tat Sat. Well, we had an outstanding marathon for the Chaitanya Charitamrita worldwide. And we're very much on track around the world because there's momentum. We're developing capacity in many places around the world. And as we climb to the Himalayan top peak of the Mount Everest, we noticed things are going like this. We're growing, but there's ups and downs in the process. And someone told me the other day that we've done over 150,000 sets of Bhagavatams from our concerted efforts. You know, so many of these things happen when we're not looking, because we're just looking down at what we're doing right now and what we're going to do next. But together, as a team, 150,000 sets of Bhagavatams, inconceivable 6 years ago. But somehow or other, by the combined energy of all of you working together, and all over the world, devotees feeling the same impetus to do service for service, and believing in the magic of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, as Prabhupada did when he was aboard the Jaladūta, when he said, this will be the tip of the spear. This is what will create the revolution in the impious lives of the world's misdirected civilization. Here we are. It's the launch of Bhadra. We have full permission from Śrīla Prabhupāda to give our mind and attention in, as he puts it, practical samādhi of distributing the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets. We have the encouragement from the Bhagvatam itself from Śrīla Śukadeva Goswami, who included the verse that says, do this, give it to other people, you'll go back to Godhead in the process. Let everybody go back to Godhead. And Shamahini, how about if we look at a few slides? I just want to go over it briefly because I want mostly everyone to have a chance to talk about their realizations. As a reminder, Prabhupada gave this idea that he carried out and showed by example himself by distributing books for Krishna. We become absorbed in samādhi. I notice that when devotees go out, they don't want to come back. We also know that a movement is not based on brick and mortar. We're not into stones and metal. We're into preaching. And book distribution is the most authorized way to approach people and introduce them to Krishna consciousness. And we notice wherever that's going on, there's life. We call it spiritual oxygen. It's a high sadhana. Why wouldn't it be high sadhana? Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, anybody who's doing this service is most dear to me. That's the very essence of sadhana, is when you do something that you know Krishna likes and you're doing it because Krishna likes it. What to speak of? Śrīla Prabhupāda likes it. And when you please Krishna's pure devotee, then you please Krishna in the best way possible. It's high sadhana. rising tide lifts all boats. And book distribution as an ingredient, it's the active ingredient. It uplifts the community. Here's how we did in the Bee Gardener campaign. How does that look to you all? You like that? That's what's possible. There's no limitation. It's just a matter of gathering together our energies and focusing them in one direction. Ekeha Kurunandana, one pointed. And this is what it looks like. It's similar to what it looks like for Bhadra. We had a few years plateauing, and then all of a sudden it shot up in 2020. And it's been continuing to rise. We're continuing to get more capacity. Part of it is confidence. Once you know you can do it, then you do it. Oceania region. Here's how it looks. Explain the slide for us, please, Shamahini.
Yes, Prabhu. So these are the results of Be a Gardener from Oceania. Australia did 129 sets of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita this year, as compared to the 57 sets that they did last year. New Zealand did 2 sets in 2024, but we haven't received any scores this year in 2025. And Fiji, for the first time, reported scores in the Be a Gardener campaign in this year, 2025, 4 sets.
Thank you very much. It's good to see how we're doing, right? So again, we have the Goloka ticket. It resonates. We've heard it ourselves because we're on the front lines and we're discussing these things 24/7, 365. So yeah, I've seen that verse before. But read it again. What is it actually saying? If on the full moon day of the month of Bhadra, one places Śrīmad Bhāgavatam on a golden throne and gives it as a gift, he will attain the supreme transcendental destination. And there's a lot of things that people try for in this world, but as far as I'm concerned, this is the Goloka ticket is the most worthy goal to endeavor for. It's right out of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. What's more, when people who are unacquainted with our campaign hear about it, and they have a little bit of faith in their heart, in the words of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, they'll participate. And there's millions more out there that'll do it. Millions. Here's how we look in Paschatya Desh. That's everything outside of India. Looks like a wave cresting, ready to everything you all in Oceania will be familiar with, a wave cresting. And then once it comes, then the next wave comes. We're riding those waves. These are real numbers, so they're important. Here's Bharat, how they're looking. Our goal for 2026, 108,000 sets of Śrīmad Bhāgavatams. It means all of the energy we've developed up till now will push into next year. So we want to have a good running start, just like when you do the triple jump or the long jump. You got a good running start and then hop, 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 and you really fly across the sand pit and try to get some distance. We've been working up to this, and now this is our Olympics coming up. So pray hard and remember Śrīla Advaita Acharya. Our total for 2024 was 31,591, which is not nothing. And if you want to have a quick look, just eyeball the results. We'll go through them quickly. You can make an imprint on your brain. Explain the slide, please, Shamahini.
Yes, Prabhu. This slide here talks about the cumulative growth of the Bhadra campaign in Oceania. The blue bar represents Australia, green is New Zealand, and red is Fiji. So we see that Australia grew from 285 sets in 2020 to 705 sets last year. That was an average growth of, or the cumulative growth of 147% in the last 5 years. New Zealand grew from 64 sets in 2020 to 60 sets in 2024. As you mentioned, it's like a wave, crescent wave. Fiji, as you like to say, the indicator, the leading indicator. They went from 0 sets. 2021 was the first time Fiji participated in the Bhadra campaign, to 30 sets in 2024.
Thank you, Shamahini.
Should I move on? Would you like to add anything, Prabhu?
This is what a healthy yatra looks like. These are the sign of health that, when you go to the doctor and you have your heart tested, this is like an EKG. You look at the chart, say, yeah, the heart is beating. So main thing is we want to be engaged in this topmost service for Śrīla Prabhupāda and the Guru Parampara, hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, distributing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And these are good, healthy numbers. And don't worry about the ups and downs. It's all about developing capacity. And it's all about really just putting your heart in the service the best you can every year. It's a short life. We're just speeding through here. And if you look down and just stay fixed on a service that is acknowledged by the acharyas, you'll have a successful life. That's what I have to say about this slide. Okay, Far East. And just go back to that slide and just mention, we can never take anything for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see on this Bangladesh, because obviously they had problems. That one year they did over 5,000 sets. And then now it's not possible for them to do anything. So I'm just saying, in the world, we do what we can with what we have during the present times, and we don't take anything for granted, because it's the material world. Anything can happen. What we're doing right now is amazing. So keep that in mind, that what all of you are doing, especially in a place where it's harder to find people that know about the Bhagavatam or even have an interest in that the context of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and you have to create it for them. Your numbers are stellar. And I just wanted to bring our attention to the fact that it's always shifting. Main thing is, remember, it's a high sadhana, and we go on practicing it. Okay. We want to get to a baseline of 108,000. We develop capacity to get there. It's a good place to start from. Then we start looking in incrementally higher numbers, starting from 108,000. It's a good place to say that we work together as a world team to get to this number. I would like to get to this number and have it be the norm. And I can remember the times when here locally at our little small center we have here in ISV, that we would stand in the parking lot together, the Sankirtan devotees, a few of us, and we dream. I remember dreaming once years ago, like 1 year we'll do 500 Bhagavatams in 1 year. And everyone rolled their eyes like, wow, that's the biggest dream we could think of. And we've passed that by a long shot. And I remember the times when we talked about getting to 10,000 Bhagavatam sets in 1 year. That was 2019, and we were stuck at 7,000, which was a huge achievement in and of itself. But we thought, how are we going to get to 10,000? But we did. And we passed it by a long shot. And now when we look at 100,008, we say, oh, come on. What are you talking about? We already talked to everybody. No, It's totally possible. We can smash this number. I guarantee you we can do it. It's not us, it's Lord Chaitanya doing it. We just have to believe in it and believe in Lord Chaitanya. Think of Srila Prabhupada. He got on a boat and came by himself. So we have to do this. We have to do it for Prabhupada. And it's not, what it'll make of us, what it'll make of our movement to hit this number. That's what we're looking for. We want to offer that at the lotus feet of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and every one of us are in it together. Okay, next one. Let's go. That's a good mantra. What slide number is this, Shamahini?
Sorry, Prabhu, I'm not able to tell you the slide number because
Okay, that's all right. I want to
cut out.
stop here because
Okay.
I want everybody else to talk. I don't want to take up too much more time. There's much more to talk about. You've all seen maps before. You know where we're going, and you have a little bit of idea about what we can do. And so now I'd like to call on Baba Sundhi, the intrepid leader of that yatra in New Zealand, and tell us what you're thinking. What are your revelations?
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupāda. Yeah, very excited. It's always great to be on the calls and just get that reminder of where we're at and where we're heading. Yeah, I contacted the different centres around New Zealand to find out what their plans were. Everybody's kind of in the brainstorming phase of things, but they've all got some cool ideas. So yeah, the Loft in Auckland, they're thinking of, well, they will be running a yoga teacher training course, and they're thinking of various other courses that they could promote, which participants pay for, and included in that course is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set, and of course the course would also be relating to Śrīmad Bhāgavatam as well. So that would be a way of yeah, inspiring people to read the sets as well and making them relevant to the courses that they're doing, because people are very willing to pay big money for courses. So yeah, we can also do that in our yoga centers and outreach centers as well. Also, they've been having some Sankirtan inspiration classes as well, just to create interest and bring back awareness of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set distribution. Then in Bhakti Lounge, Wellington, they're planning on, well, they're in the process of making a brochure, which they can take out on books with them, because sometimes it isn't very possible for everybody to take out a set every time they go out on books, especially if they're just popping out for half an hour in between different services. So they're making a very relevant, current, up-to-date brochure for the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set, as well as starting Super Sankirtan Sunday, where once a month on a Sunday they have a table just displaying Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set and having devotees, just having a roster where devotees will spend an hour or so on that, so just fully dedicated to Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set. And they also have a specific Sankirtan team where they're called the Sankirtan Expansion Squad, and they're going to be having a meeting soon to brainstorm different ideas as well relating to Bhagavatam set distribution. And then ISKCON Centre for Culture and Education in Wellington, they kind of have where they encourage their preaching centres. So those who are more established in Bhakti, they encourage them to buy a Bhagavatam set for those who are just coming along. And then often the next year, those who were bought a set the previous year, they're often inspired to then help out someone else that's just coming along. So it's a bit like a kind of pay it forward scheme, which is nice, because people like to help each other that are coming along, and then they like to pay that good fortune forward. Then up in ISKCON Auckland, where it's good this year because the actual Bhadra campaign finale, Bhadra Praneem, is going to be on a Sunday as well, which is good because we'll have a lot of people come into the Sunday feast. So we're hoping to do a big presentation there as well, possibly a yagya So there'll be a lot more people coming that can hear specifically about it and be very inspired to take part on that day. Yeah, as well as kind of looking through our database to those who have, you know, got stacks of books, or yeah, just kind of looking through the database to see who may be yeah, more favorable for getting a set and contacting them personally. Yeah, so that's kind of, we're still in the brainstorming phase at the moment. But I did have one question to ask some advice from, because on Janmashtami, we kind of haven't really cracked the potential of Janmashtami yet. Often on Janmashtami, there's, you know, thousands of visitors that come to the temple, but sometimes it's so packed that people just kind of push past to see the deities, or, you know, go in for the Abhishek, but people aren't so much stopping at the book tab. You know, Krishna books are quite popular, but we haven't managed to, yeah, really use that, the amount of people coming on Janmashtami, to use that to our full advantage. So I was wondering if yourself or any of the other centers have had some really good experiences with that.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. That's what capacity sounds like. You have multiple streams. And your point about brochures and so forth inspired me to grab these. I just came back from London, and they have really first class materials, which I'd like to get my hands on. It was printed in Bombay. Oh, actually, the layout came from Bombay. This is a list of all the languages they have it in, and then have really brilliant pictures describing each canto and so forth. And there's others that they have share the gift and so forth. Let's ask first, does anybody have a key to the Janmashtami? Anybody want to mention? Who's done well on Janmashtami?
Oh, Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna, Vaisesika Prabhu. Vilas Manjari here. Yeah, one of our centers had a lot of success with they promoted this take Krishna home, take Krishna into your home on Janmashtami. And they had a quote there about how the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is non-different from Krishna. And they put that quote on a poster, and they had a lot of success in this. I think they called it Take Krishna Home on Janmashtami. So don't just come and visit the temple. Take Krishna home into your home. And if you already have the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in your home, then take Krishna into another home. So they did very well with that. They did it for a few years. And oh yeah, I remember what they did, because I went to their Janmashtami celebration. That was about 2 years ago. They did all of these pre-orders before Janmashtami, and they advertised that everybody who ordered and paid for a set at Janmashtami, a set of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, would be collecting their set at Janmashtami and would have a seat in the yagya. And Janmashtami began with a special yagya ceremony with all the participants in the Take Krishna Home campaign. And they had a wall of Bhagavatam sets where the leader of that center then handed out to each person who was involved, and they were personally given their set. So that worked really well for them. And of course that was in an Indian community. But I'm guessing, yeah, that's the main crowd coming to Janmashtami. So that worked well here.
Thank you very much, Vilas Manjari. It sparked my memory of how at the Manor, Bhaktivedanta Manor in London, they had a special booth on Janmashtami they did well at, and it was called 7 Days to Live, I think. And what would you do if you had 7 days to live? And then, of course, the theme resonates with all of us. It's in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, just 7 days to live. They had a very special branding for it that impelled people to come in. Anybody else? You want to answer briefly for the Janmashtami? Yes, go ahead, Rukmini Mohan.
Vaisesika- Yes, Vaisesika Prabhu's in Janmashtami, what we did last year was we put the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets on the altars, DT altars, and also at Śrīla Prabhupāda's altar. It was very nicely decorated with Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets, so people had more visibility of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, apart from the book stands. And also we did a lot of promotion, and before the curtains were open for darshan, at midnight, we also made people aware of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and requested if they could take Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, literary incarnation of Krishna. So those were the strategies that we used last year, and it worked well.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's comes down to visibility and then creative visibility, and also the excellent point that you made about Baba Sundhi about complementary marketing. When you combine it with other assets, it makes it very appealing. That I love what you said, Vilas Mundry, about how you get a seat at the yagya, and you can combine it. If you take the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set, you get this and that. Excellent. Okay, well, now we're going to go over. Baba Sundhi, were you finished?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your
Thank you. It was a really good presentation, right off the top of your head. Amazing. And Vilas Mundry, over to you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So I have put the word out, asking for plans, and I know that Melbourne Temple has big plans for the Bhadra Punim, but I haven't been able to get into contact with them yet today, but that'll be coming on the next meeting. I'll be able to share that. What I have is more questions and really devotees wanting to know how to manage the obstacles. So I'm going to give you some of those, if that's okay, and I'll just open up to the group for ideas. So some centers are saying, well, one center said they feel the temple needs a bit of a breather before they start trying to set goals, because we just finished the Chaitanya Charitamrita marathon, and the temple has lots of other focuses, and they feel that it's, it's a bit too saturating to be saying, okay, we finished this one, and now what are your goals for the next one? So that's, if you have a comment now, you can comment on that, or I'll keep rattling on.
Well, we've found by experimentation, as an example, when we first started doing monthly Sankirtan festivals, that the devotees, we thought, were getting, we wanted to give a little respite. So around time of Radhastami, we said we won't have any goal. Just everyone can go out and do whatever they want. And what happened was the devotees came back and complained vociferously. They said that took away some of the electricity from the process. And I suppose it has a lot to do with the culture and of a specific community, and where they're getting their oxygen from, and what their priorities are also. I mean, tell it to Apple computers, like, oh yeah, we did this last year. But what does Apple Computer do? They make computers, and it really depends. What do? We distribute books. We preach and we increase it. And so that's more or less just presenting the mission idea, but on a practical level also, we try to layer where it happens organically who's going out for the marathons. And it may be different kinds of people at different times of the year who participate. Some of the marathons are a little lighter, and there's a certain class of people that go out, and other times others take over for, during the other types of marathons. And so if there's a sort of divisions of labor, like, okay, well, somebody can really specialize more in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and then do a little more backup during the Bhadra, and then other people can step forward for that. That can be another idea. If anybody else wants to comment about that, I think it would be helpful. Otherwise, if you have more questions, go ahead, and others can mention it in the chat. Yes.
There was another one that was similar to that. Narottam Prabhu was saying, he feels that the congregation there's not very big in Perth, and it's growing, but it's growing slowly. They're mainly advertised Bhagavad Gita courses, and then people, when they come and do the course, then they get a Gita, and then they connect them to a Bhakti Vriksha group. It's mostly, the temple's very small, it's mostly growing through the congregation, growing little bit by little bit. There's no door-to-door preaching, and he said he's feeling that with regards to the Bhagavatam sets, we've progressed over these few years, but he's noticed that we're reaching some sort of saturation point where we have to struggle to distribute them.
Well, what I find whenever there's a struggle is it's helpful to have a brainstorming session. And it's kind of like with compost, you have to stir it a little bit, and then the heat comes out of it. And there's a way in which Lord Chaitanya can reveal unlimited ways to distribute, and also he can give us more heat and more energy, but we have to stir it. Oftentimes we just assume that the way we're doing it now is the only way you can do it, and that whatever we've done now, that's as much as we can do. There is no saturation point, actually, in the Krishna conscious movement. And one of the ways to realize that is to come together and brainstorm. Because once you do that, it's amazing how much energy comes out. We did this exercise in Soho last year. I met with the Brahmachari ashram there. They're self-sufficient. They live downtown London. And they wanted to know, how can we double or triple what we did last year? That was their goal. They put it at the top of the whiteboard. And then we brainstormed for about 2.5 hours. And everyone came up with ideas. We filled the whiteboard. And then we prioritized. And they did it. Now, London's not this maybe the same as another center, but the principle's the same. And that is, there is no saturation except for we get used to things. When you do things over and over again, you have to renew why you're doing it. And you also have to get new ideas to make it fresh. Prabhupada said, always have a fresh challenge. And you can always try changing up the kind of goals you have. If somebody really does feel beleaguered at a certain point, you can change the goal to something more qualitative than quantitative. And you know, like in London, some of the things they do also, they say, okay, we're not going to go for a number, although they do have numbers. At certain, one of the things they do is like, we're going to go for the number of doors knocked. That's a little different than the number of Bhagavatam sets we're going to sell. How many doors are you going to knock, or how many festivals are you going to go to? And then you can also have ideas like change it to something that might internalize it a little more and say, we're going to read the Bhagavatam more this year. Or you can say, we've had these monthly Sankirtan festivals. One of them we call the monthly Sankirtan Festival of Loving Exchanges. So that way it changes it up. I'm not going to go too much more detail because we're on a time schedule. Do you have any more questions?
Yeah. Well, the next one, I think those brochures would be helpful because quite a few devotees, we're waiting on sets. The sets aren't arriving to temples probably until late June. And so devotees are wondering, how do we start the campaign and the pledges and all of that when we don't have the set? So we have been here before, but I'm thinking those brochures would be really helpful. Where can I get samples from?
Right here. We'll work on it. We'll get the template from London and make sure you get it. You can personalize it. And I just want to mention, it's no problem selling sets that are on their way. No problem at all. France had one of its biggest years ever, and the books weren't even printed yet. They were about to be printed, but they didn't have them. And they went around. You just have to assume the sale. Yeah, we do it. We always do it like this. We don't have to have the set. And listen to this. During the time when Prabhupada was writing his books, the devotees were selling them before they were even written. He hadn't written them yet. And they sold what they called standing orders, which means, okay, we'll order whatever comes out. And so it's more the mood that you present it in. If you say, oh, we don't have any books, what are we going to do? Then you just, one time, I'll be quick with this, but one time the book room, which was a separated garage in St. Louis, Missouri, burned down. And all the books inside were singed and some of them were burned. So we got the insurance for the fire burning down the thing. And then they also gave us, actually, I shouldn't even talk about that, but the point was the books were singed. And then temple president said, well, try selling them anyway. Everyone said, oh, you can't sell a singed book. So they took them out and one devotee said, oh, they're antiques, or we antiqued them. And then they started selling them and it became such a hot item that, no pun intended, there was that at the end of the marathon, the devotee saying, oh, we can't sell books that aren't singed. Unless they're burned, how are we going to sell them? And so, it's more a mindset. It's all in the mind. And you have to think about Awaitacharya. He had nothing, and he sat down there, Shantipur is out in the middle of nowhere, and he said, Lord Chaitanya, please come, and he came. And then the whole movement started. So it's all, this is all spiritual inspiration. It's not saturation. There is no such thing. And it's, so you can't say that to the whole, all the leaders, but you have to bring that kind of energy to them. They're like, oh yeah, well, we'll do it another way. And it's fine, no problem. And the more you concede also that, yeah, we'll do it a slightly different way, then they can feel comfortable and it can still catch fire. Okay. Shamahini, you better keep me on track here.
Yes, Prabhu, if we can move on to the next update, if that's okay.
Yes, and it will be, our lines are open 24/7 for any calls, questions, whatever. We'll answer them. We'll get you materials, whatever you want. We'll get it for you. Okay, next we have
Rukmini Mohan. Prabhu.
Rukmini Mohan, the leading educator country and best
Hare
smile
Krishna,
on the
Vaisesika
planet. Go for it,
Prabhu.
Rukmini.
Yes. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupāda and all glories to all the Vaishnavas present. Vaisesika Prabhu, we are preparing for the campaign, this year's campaign. And some of the things that we have thought about is that we have weekly Harinams. We'll take the brochures with us and show it to the when we go for house to house Harinams. So you'll get an opportunity for the people to have a look at the brochures, and if they're interested, then we'll try to supply them with the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Also, during the festivals and programs, Sunday programs, we are going to be showing, putting tables on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam on the tables, and basically try to promote during the weekly, this Sunday Love Feast programs. And we are also going to be Shastradan. We'll promote it, Shastradan, this part of Shastradan, and try to encourage people to, normally people donate for Bhagavad Gita, but we'll also try to encourage that if they can support with the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam as well. So these are the ways we are looking at the moment, and we'll probably consider also a yagya, and create the advertisement accordingly and try to promote Śrīmad Bhāgavatam through yagya as well. So these are the things we are looking at the moment. Vaisesika Prabhu.
Thank you, Rukmini Mohan.
Yes, so let's see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has in store for us this year.
Okay. Just on the yajna front, I'll mention that I just came back from London, and there at the Rise Retreat, Divyanand Prabhu had offered, we had these glass boxes, and he invited everybody to make a pledge, and you put the pledge, you write it, how many Bhagavatam sets each individual's planning on doing, him or herself, and they put it in the glass box. And then we're going to collect all the names, and I'm going to take them to Govardhan during Kartik, and we're going to have a yajna there, and I'm going to offer all the names in the yajna. So if you extend the yajna idea to ways in which people get this personal benefit, we'll actually take their name card to Govardhan Hill, take it around on a parikram, and then offer them in the yajna. You could do stuff like that. Just think creatively how to add these spiritual intangibles to it, and it makes it irresistible. You can't put a price on things like that. Once in a lifetime kind of stuff. Okay, we're moving on. Thank you very much, Rukmini Mohan Prabhu. What a pleasure to see you. Malini Preeti is back from Malaysia, Abba Kabar. Tell us how things are going over there.
Kabar baik, Vaisesika Prabhu. It means that I'm good. Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Vaisesika Prabhu, and all the Sankirtan champions, warriors, leaders. Please accept my respectful obeisances. So, I am a congregation member of Sri Jagannath Mandir, Kuala Lumpur. So, last Sunday, we had a meeting on the preachers' meeting to express what are the challenges that we face. So in my mind, it was just Bhadra. I just kept thinking about Bhadra all the time because we did the Bhadra very well 2018 and then 2020, 21, but then we did in Malaysia as a whole. We had it didn't like the other years, it went a bit slow. So I expressed the challenges that we should do something to revive the Bhadra campaign, at least from the temple that I am, at the local temple that I am. So the leaders, they nominated me to be the coordinator, and we are currently figuring out the so we are doing the preliminary matters, as in to see the stocks, available stocks that we have, and available book stocks, and thinking on how to promote this on the social media and as much as we can, and also to launch the campaign. And I have to take this back to the temple leaders. That's the situation right now. This thing came to me because last year when His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj came to Malaysia, he had cataracts in his eyes, and he said that he kept saying, I cannot see, I can't recognize. If you speak, then I know who's the person that I'm speaking to. But at the airport, I was just standing, I saw the devotees were crowding him and they wanted to take his association. I was standing, and then he said to me, he saw me, and then he said, he was just looking, I said, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. The only question he asked me was, how many books? So then I thought that, okay, I wanted to give the whole report. And the day that he left Malaysia was actually the day of Bhadra Purnima. Then when I was saying that, and then he got, how many sets? So he said that. So I had my mother had some health challenges last year. I mentioned this to Vaisesika Prabhu. So I couldn't contribute much for Bhadra last year, but I kept that in my heart, and I thought there's something that I need to do in Malaysia, at least in the local temple where I am, and revive the Bhadra Purnima. So that is what I am. And today I came, that is my situation right now. Today I came actually, and I actually messaged Shama Mohini Mataji, when is the Bhadra call? Why? It's normally early April. What happened? And I came here really to get the blessings of Vaisesika Prabhu and all the assembled devotees, so that with the blessings of all of you, that we will do well in our yatra for Bhadra distribution this year. And I'm so happy to hear there are so many ideas that are coming from, Baba Sandi Mataji. I heard Vilas Manjari Mataji. I heard really nice things, and Rukmini Mohan Prabhu. he said on the weekly that how you should put on the Sunday, like during the Sunday feast, you start promoting. That is nice. So that is what I have in my mind right now.
Thank
Then
you,
I'll.
Malini Priti.
Sorry for taking so much time.
You're gonna do huge over there.
Thank
I
you so much.
guarantee it, because you're spiritually wise. You know there's an opportunity to grab it.
Yeah.
Lord Chaitanya will use anybody who grabs, and you're going to do great. And also get in touch with Sriram Prabhu. He's a great facilitator. We assigned him to help out in Malaysia, and he's helping out in the Philippines now. We'll connect you with Sriram. I worked with him
Okay.
for years in India, and now we've assigned him to Malaysia just to help you. Thank you for your report. We are ecstatic that you're there.
Thanks.
Okay, now we're moving over to Jai Madhava Prabhu, who's going to tell us a little bit about the electronic newsletter that's launching now.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Śrīla Prabhupāda. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Under the guidance of His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu and Her Grace Shamamani Mataji, the team has been working over the last 7 years developing this app, which is used to report book distribution scores as well as submit report to the monthly Sankirtan festival as well. So I'll quickly share a slide which has an overview of the app itself, and then I will have a demo also which is prepared. I'm just trying to find the sharing. Just give me a second. Yeah, and we'll have a short demo so that you can get an idea what the app is about, followed by an update from Malini Mataji. So I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully it's visible. So this is the app, the Cover the Earth app, which is used to report WSN score, is available both on the iOS as well as Android. And we currently have ISV, which is using it actively. In addition, we have 11 centers, including ISV, across US, Canada, and Australia, who are in various stages of pilot. We do have a pilot WhatsApp group, and we have Sakala Subha Prabhu, who would be available for any information or onboarding, etc. So given we have short time, I'll quickly stop here and request Her Grace Malini Mataji to give an overview of how this app is helping ISV Temple, as well as Kautukana Prabhu to give a demo. Thank you, ma'am.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances to Srimad Prabhupada. I'm Malini Devi Dasi here. We have been using this app for a couple of years now, 3 years. And what we found is previously we used to maintain Excel sheets for scores, reporting and everything. But now everything goes in the app. The devotees go out on Sankirtan. At the end of the day, they directly report the books on the app. And when we calculate our scores for monthly Sankirtan festival, we don't look at the Excel sheets anymore. We directly look at the app. We get the scores. It just takes us a couple of minutes. The hard part is to get the scores, but once the scores are in, the app is really easy to use, and we get all the fields that is needed for us to report to Śrīla Prabhupāda. And we also do the same thing to report the scores to WSN as well. So I highly recommend it. We have tested enough. We found a lot of bugs, but they're all fixed now. So you can happily use this app. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for the overview and also the support you have provided us throughout. It was really a good teamwork. So thank you. I'll request Kautukana Prabhu now, if you are there, if you can please give a demo of the app.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All Guru Śrīla Prabhupāda. I will share my screen to demonstrate the demo. Share entire screen. So, I'm opening this app called Cover the Earth. Here is my login. I hope you are able to see my screen.
We can see it.
Yeah, thank you. So we can see there are some reports which are already there. And for every report, we can see the books distributed amount and the book points. In order to add a new transaction, we go to the left top. We go to add transaction. And here I want to add a new report on 26th April, add a Bhagavad Gita. So we can see there's a Bhagavad Gita as a favorite option. We can also select any book which is not there already. For example, I want to find some Chant and Be Happy. So I can always scroll or search it here. So this is how we can add all the books. Some of books were already added. And then this is a select a group option. We have many groups in ISV. So I belong to Western Sankirtan. I select that and I choose the amount of donation, $10. And this is the drop down menu for selecting the distributors. Select my name here. This is the address. So I already filled it up for the demo. We can edit it. And then this is a good news action broadcast. If you want to add any details, where you distributed the book, any realizations. So I have written that just to make the demo faster. And then after that, I go and click submit. Yes. So we can see the report is here. Books distributed 5, donation $10, total book points are 3. These are the different books that were distributed. And now I can share it on social media. We have WhatsApp groups to share this. So we have a share icon on the top right. So I go here and you can see there is a nice summary of the report and we can select one of the images. So today I distributed to this family. So we have a nice picture here. I can go and share this to Weekend Warriors. This is our Sankirtan group. Yeah. So we can see it's so easy to report in a couple of minutes. And yeah, devotees are already liking it. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the quick overview. And as Mali Mata mentioned, the book distributors are actively using it, and it's actually also helping each other to encourage by reporting directly in WhatsApp group that they use to communicate with each other. And at the end of MSF, the same app is used to send reports to Mayapur Shashi Prabhu, so it makes it easier as well. So I want to take maybe another minute and thanks so much Kautukan Prabhu for putting this demo quickly together, and he has been a champion distributor here using the app and encouraging others to also use for us. Now I request Sakala Subhag Prabhu to please come and give a quick overview about how anyone who might be interested can participate in a pilot to learn more how to use it, and then also if go live after that if they are happy about it.
Dear devotees, Hare Krishna. Good Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Our goes to Śrīla Prabhupāda. So we have a Google form created to get onboarded the team. Once the team has filled the Google form, there is a corresponding WhatsApp link where they can update that they have filled the Google form. So I'll be in touch with them, get in touch with them, and try to onboard their team into the app. So that they can have a smooth onboarding process, so that they can start reporting their scores at the earliest.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So that was a quick overview of the app. We are more than, I know we are short on time, so we are more than happy to have a one-on-one personal session with anyone who might be interested. So please share. This has helped the team a lot, and it also motivates. So please share this and let us know if anyone would be interested. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, JM and team. Good work. The original newsletter took several years to get going. After Shruti had created it, it was his brainchild. And then when Prabhupada acknowledged it and said he was looking at it, then a lot more devotees got involved. Now it's become an ISKCON standard. It's much easier to use, it's much more accurate, and there's a lot of features that we can add as we go forward so that we can watch how everybody's doing simultaneously all over the world in real time. It's the next step. We're antiquated systems now. So I suggest everybody try it, sign up for it. You may not do it full bore right away, but just get used to it because it's the next big thing. Final points I'd like to make. First of all, acknowledging the Philippines. Philippines is on the rise, And a special welcome to Indravali Devi Dasi and Mahendra Das. There's some really powerful leaders in the Philippines. And now we have a team that's formed there. We all met in Mayapur this year. And now Janananda Swami, who's spent time in the Philippines, is on the team and inspiring everybody. And we have Sri Ram there also, who I mentioned just a minute ago. He's a touchstone. And wherever he goes, things increase. And we'll be putting a lot of energy into the Philippines. So go Philippines. And also, our main points for this year to emphasize are advocacy and capacity. Advocate. So in some places, if somebody can't go out on book distribution, just advocate for it. What is advocacy? It's got the word vak in it. You got to say something. It comes from Sanskrit, advocacy. And what do you say? Say this: book distribution is a good idea. If the leaders can't go out, and they can't, they're too busy usually, tell them just advocate. That's all we ask. Just say it's a good idea. Don't say otherwise. Say it's a good idea. You don't have to mention anything else. And if you say it, it'll work. And everywhere you go, just advocate for book distribution. It's one of the key ways that we're going to increase. And the other is capacity. We're looking for capacity. There is a formula we'll send out to everybody of how to develop more capacity. It has to do with getting more centers involved, more people involved, getting more efficiency in how we report. That includes this app. Also getting your inventories together. And we have a list of checkpoints for advocacy and capacity, mostly for capacity. Advocacy is straightforward. And finally, put the pledges in. There's a big difference between participating without pledges and with pledges. Once you put your pledge in, Krishna takes you seriously. And it makes life exciting. You know, I'll emphasize again, there's a very short life. And we're the ones that got chosen to do this service. I mean, look at the screen, just scan it. Everyone that's here is somehow or other, we've been chosen to do this. Nobody else is flying in. We're going to do it, us. And we're doing it for Prabhupada. So now, to make it all work, make your pledge. Put the number on paper with a pen and write it down. Get a tattoo on your arm. Whatever you have to do, make your pledge, because your pledge is your wedge. And as soon as you make that pledge, that's when the energy starts to flow and it opens up. The wedge has a small end and a big end. Even if you make the smallest pledge, that means something more than 0 and not less than 1. Then everything else changes. All the energy comes in. And we can see it from Rukmini Mohan Prabhu, because I remember when we first started, it started at 0 and now he's flying. So, and the whole world's doing way more than we ever thought possible. And it all starts from whatever pledge you can make. So make life exciting, pledge. Shamahini, tell us what we won.
We won lots of best practices from around the world today. I believe that devotees are all realigned. We're ready to get to the 1,008 sets for 2026 as the baseline number from which we can cover the earth. We shared so the Sankirtan app was really nice. I'm going to put up the links for everybody. And we're all set to make a pledge and make our life exciting. Thank you, Prabhu.
Look forward to being with all of you. Let's just go for it. And let Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empower us whatever way he wants. We're just instruments anyway. Remember the little switch on the back of your head? You just flip the switch and go into instrument mode. Don't worry, just work hard for Lord Chaitanya. It's up to him what the results are. He makes miracles happen at every second. Dear Śrīla Prabhupāda, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Panchatattva, Sri Radha Madan Mohan, Sri Radha Govinda, Sri Radha Gopinath, Sri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev, if you so desire, please empower our mighty team, where we have the heart and give us the heart to take this service that Śrīla Prabhupada passed on to us as our life and soul, let us help the people of the world by expanding the transcendental vibration through the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. May it be preserved all over the world. May the madness of the world be quelled by the power of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, just as Śrīla Prabhupada envisioned it. And please let us be the ones to go on the front line and sacrifice this one lifetime to expand Śrīmad Bhāgavatam to every town and village. Please empower us. Please give us resources. Please descend directly into our hearts and show us how to do this. Thank you very much for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer, in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Premanande Haribo. Manchakalpadabhishta Kripatandeva Patitanam Pavanibhyo. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavi Ki Jai. Go Premanande. Do huge, everybody. Go Philippines. Go Malaysia. Go New Zealand. Go Fiji. Go Australia. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare